everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and sorry if I got you yesterday with the April Fool's joke. A lot of people seem to get caught up on my amazing acting chops, and it was a lot of fun. If you haven't checked it out, it was yesterday's video at the very beginning. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, today a topic of the video I wanted to go over is Spell Mage. Spell Mage is completely taking over ladder to the point where if you take a look at the H's replay, it's only below Paladin. And if you look at overall H's replay stats, Mage and Paladin are the only classes with an overall positive win rate across all ranks. And again, it's across all ranks. It's not like a great indicator of the meta or anything like that, but it gives you an idea of how the general population is working. So basically, Mage is really good. It wins a lot. And what's happening? What's this deck all about? And well, I played it to Legend today on stream really quickly. I won like 10 of 12 of my last games to go from Legend to top 20 Legend. We peaked it over top 20 Legend. And if you look at the deck list, it is a bunch of just nonsense. It's a bunch of random nonsense, and it's built around basically one insane card now, and that's Deck of Lunacy. Deck of Lunacy is absolutely broken. Again, take a look at Ace's replay. The top mulligan win rate cards, these are out of all the cards in the game, the cards that have the highest win rate when you keep it in your mulligan. Deck of Lunacy is only behind the Paladin weapon. And what's happened? Why is all of a sudden Spell Mage so great? It's not like pretty much any of these cards are new, like Refreshing Springwater and the Orb, and that's basically it. That's all that's new in the deck. Why is it all of a sudden this crazy thing? And well, it's kind of that video I made not that long ago, a few weeks ago, the problem nobody's talking about. The diluted RNG pools are making cards that rely on RNG incredibly powerful. You have a card like Deck of Lunacy that, if you just like the 10-mana pool of spells, right? You have Nagarin Slam and Survival of the Fittest. That is literally it. So you put Flame Strike, you put like the Cthulhu spell. When you play Deck of Lunacy, they turn it into the 10-mana spells, and you're getting either Nagarin Slam or Survival. And when you have all these spells that generate minions, both are incredibly good. Obviously, Nagarin is ridiculous. Led to this tweet I made where I basically said the best Mage card this expansion is Nagarin Slam. And yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Play Deck of Lunacy on turn 2, or you coin it on 1, you win the game most of the time. So why is this bad for the game? Why am I kind of making an issue of this as a deck that's bad for the game? Spell Mage is a fun deck. It's actually a really cool deck. It's one of my most popular, most requested and featured decks I've ever had on my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube is right around when Ashes of Outland started, when Spell Mage was introduced with like Onto Power, like Incanter's Flow, Apex's Blast, and it was a lot of fun to play. And unfortunately, it was like every other deck during Ashes of Outland that kind of got smoked by Demon Hunter, was eventually forgot about. But I had some really popular videos based on it. I had a lot of fun playing it, and it's just a really silly casino style deck that lets you play a bunch of different random minions. It lets you generate a bunch of random stuff, but overall your opponent still had a reasonable expectation to play around, right? They can expect a bunch of random Mage minions. They can expect some 5-drops from Apex's Blast, a lot of which will suck, but not anymore. Again, another reason this deck is nuts. Apex's Blast has the Jandice syndrome of insane 5-drops, unless you get Jandice, which I have. And you know, you would rely on cards like Power Creation or Deep Freeze to kind of give you that minion presence, and it wasn't so ridiculous. But now, when you play Deck of Lunacy on curve, the game becomes basically Yogg on steroids, or Prince Keleseth on steroids if you want, on turns 1 and 2. And it never ends. Yogg doesn't go away. It's every single turn is ridiculousness. You can get Skull of Gul'dan, you can get a sprint, you can get all the stuff that cycles into things. And when you have Refreshing Springwater, you get to do it for basically free. You cycle through your deck for free, or sometimes you game in if you played Incanter's Flow, and it becomes absolutely ridiculous. And basically, to demonstrate this point, let's just take a look at some highlights from some games on my Legend climb of just how unbelievably broken Deck of Lunacy is. Every single control warrior that has tried to beat me has had no chance. If you look at this warrior game, he's had to deal with a barrage of cheap card draw, 7-mana Nagarin Slams, which I'm able to give like Vivid Spores to make it so they're impossible to kill. I get more Nagarin Slams and just murder my opponent. It's like turn 9, I cheated like 1 billion mana. And this would be fine if this was like a silly meme that wasn't that consistent. The problem is it's ridiculously consistent. The next game, I'm facing an OTK Demon Hunter that's pretty, supposed to be very heavily favored, but as you can tell, I draw Celestial, which puts everything to 1, which effectively derails his OTK strategy. Basically, his entire game plan rendered pointless. And I've used this card to win many games, even against the aggro decks, like Penflinger decks. All of a sudden, you draw it, you play it, and boom, they can't play any mana. They can't play one Penflinger, and you scam them. And yeah, it's another strategy, or it's another high roll that happens. But again, when every spell is so insane, there's so few misses, it's just ridiculous the cheating, the scamming you can do. Lastly, on my final boss, my opening hand was Deck of Lunacy with Incanter's Flow, and I was basically whiffing, and then on turn 6, get a random Grom, buff it up like crazy, give it resummon, and that's Legend. That's how you get Legend in 2021 Hearthstone, through utter, complete, random crap. And it was just, it just kind of blew my mind. I couldn't handle that this had actually happened. So why is this deck bad for the game? Why should this be changed? Well, because it's literally a slot machine. It's literally just like, it's just ridiculous. Everything is random about the deck once you play Deck of Lunacy, and I don't really have any problem with basically the remainder of the deck, of the spell mage deck. I think it's really cool. It's a lot of fun, and it can win games without Deck of Lunacy. A lot, like the first day I played this deck, I barely drew the card. I got really unlucky, I guess, and then draw it, and I still had a positive win rate doing just cool spell stuff. But you play Deck of Lunacy, the game's just completely out the window. Every card in your deck is literally random, because every card you play is a spell. So you're just willingly changing your whole deck to be random, which normally when you do that, say like a Announce Darkness or a Journey in Agoro, it's a fun meme. Those are cool decks, but they're memes. They're silly. You play them with friends or memeing like Dumpster Legend or Dumpster Ladder. You're not playing at a competitive level. And I'm playing top 20 Legend with random crap and winning consistently and easily. So I'd love to hear your guys' take on it. I don't think this type of deck is exactly healthy for the game when it's really good. I think it can exist as a meme. So like Deck of Lunacy, maybe you make it 4 mana or something. But I just think as it stands, the fact that if you play Deck of Lunacy, you basically win the game through pure random, through basically Yogg Saron throughout the rest of the game, I think it's a bit much. I think it's a bit silly. And I'll update my my nerf video from yesterday. I think Deck of Lunacy should be added to there. Make it 4 mana, make it a meme card, because right now it's a little bit silly. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, again, I'll include my latest deck code because the deck is super fun to play. I do recommend playing it while you can. It is an absolute blast to play, but again, it's a little bit silly. It's a little bit silly. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.